Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Thursday, the 12th of June. I am flatcapcallum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Well, Thursday, starting the week late this week, aren't we? Haven't played Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday this week. Monday, Tuesday, I kind of skipped it for the channel. Didn't think it was up to much. I played a couple of horses Monday, a couple of horses Tuesday myself. One was a non-runner, 3 ran, 2 were very unlucky in running, and one was one of them ones, we would have been unlucky because the jockey didn't try. That was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, nothing doing for me. There were some interesting handicaps at Kempton, but I didn't have a strong view, so left those. We arrived on Thursday. Last week was a quite staking week, and this week we've already missed 3 days, so it looks like we'll have the same again. So on the vid, I'm going to do Thursday's bet. Now we have got a bit more of an interesting. I say a bit more of an. It's clearly more interesting than Monday to Wednesday. By Thursday standards, it's above average, I would say, for interest because there's quite a lot of big field handicaps. Whether or not they all hold the runners so that most people can get 5 places, we'll have to wait and see. Particularly in Ireland, I think it's quite a bit of rain. Forecast that might hit Leopardstown, so it's difficult. I've made some judgments on Leopardstown, hoping the ground stays good, but I think I'm going to be a bit I'm being a bit too optimistic. That's what there's a health warning with the bets. If the ground is still on the good side, I'd be quite happy. If it goes on the soft side, I'll be less happy. Probably might have some non-runners anyway. So. We'll see. So Thursday, the headline is it's £16.75. There are 6 horses, 5 races. Possibly the first time ever. I've got a split leg Canadian. I don't normally do it like that. Split leg Yankees, yes, as in two horses in one race and therefore split them. But we're going split leg Canadian. So that is coming up. We'll do the review of Sunday. That won't take very long, will it? Sunday. I had a horse, 40-1, backed into 18s. It was a comfortable third. The channel returned £6.75 from the £1.50 interest. So it was a win of £5.25, which meant we came out marginally ahead last week. It was £4.09, I think, off the top of my head. So that was good because the previous week we lost, so we didn't win a pot of gold, did we? But four quid's better than losing £4, isn't it? So for the month of June, as I be riding to Thursday, I think I'm down about £7. So I mean, relatively speaking, that's pretty close to break even. For the year. We are minus 50 at this current moment. We keep swinging up and down. And yeah, I'll still say if you took out that terrible Cheltenham bunch, then actually figures would look a lot better. But not amazing, but they'd look a lot better. So that's where we are. Before I get in the bet, it's always useful just to recap these things for folk that are, there's new folk joining all the time, right? I've been doing this for a few years on YouTube. I've been, betting all my adult, well, a bit before my adult life too, but all my adult life. Been doing YouTube since January 2022. I've had a few breaks in that time. All of the statistical information from the history of the channel is all in the description below. Unlike a lot of channels you might see out there, albeit there's a dwindling number these days, I think. All of the stats are just there. They're all in the description of every single video, right? It's nice and easy. It's not me starting the clock. I do start the clock each year and go, we'll start, what are the stats for 2025? But there are running stats as well as monthly stats as well as annual stats, so you can see the whole thing, right? There's no hiding place on here with the stats. And you see the trajectory. We had an amazing first year. It was a struggle the second year, but we got there to a profit, albeit not as good as the first year. The third year, so that's talking about 2024. I only played for about half the year. Had a new baby, and the channel wasn't my main focus for a lot of the year, as you might imagine. We came out with a bit of a loss on that one, which was really disappointing, mainly because I had an absolute shocker of a February-March in 2024, and although I recovered some, couldn't recover all. And then 2025, I didn't really play much in January, February, played Cheltenham too heavy, and then since then I've been back sort of what I would, full-time-ish, as in I've been doing videos when I've got stuff, so it's been about 4 or 5 times a week. So that's pretty much been April, May and into June. And we find ourselves minus 50 quid. But yeah, what I do is I play higher price end of the market, so mid to high price of the market, and I play multiples and accumulators. And that isn't, that isn't what a lot of folk do. A lot of people want to play shorties and they play singles. I play bigger and I play multiples. I know what my own personal ROI has been in the history of my life, every year when I record it, and I know that long term, doing the things that I do, you will come out with a better return on investment by using multiples than you would do singles. The challenge is you have to wait a long time to get a nice win where they all connect together. So we have lots of losing days. Everybody loses. I lose more than most in terms of individual days. So if you want to kind of follow what I'm doing, then you have to be prepared mentally to deal with the fact that most days we lose, right? There'll be lots of days, and today I think Thursday will be one of these where I'm gonna put up the bet shortly. There's some really good prices. I think a lot of them will not be anywhere near those prices when the time the race happens. Whether or not that converts into hits or not, because one of the key things is about value and understanding the value of a horse's odds relative to where the market says it is compared to where I think it should be. So there's lots of things that I do, but one of the main things I would say I do is I identify errors in the betting market. For the channel, I'm normally doing that night before, sometimes do it in the morning, but generally night before because it suits me personally. Finding errors in the betting market, so where the bookmakers have priced it up incorrectly. If you really want to be on it, you want to be looking at these things at sort of 6-7 o'clock in the evening sometimes, but if that's all you're doing is backing horses at 6-7 o'clock when the market's out, then you lose your betting accounts quicker. So there's some sense of putting out a video at midnight, whatever the time this goes out, then it gives you a little bit more cover, but ultimately, finding issues in the betting market where prices are, it says 50, I think it should be 12s, that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm about. It's all free. It always has been free. It always will be free. People from time to time kind of make donations and stuff. It's very kind, but don't ask for that stuff. It's not the purpose of the channel, but when people do it, it's very humbling, and I'm very grateful for it. Likewise, very humbled and grateful just for people to like a video and subscribe. We've got a really nice subscriber base. Lots of people choose to like the video. Clearly, lots of people watch a video and don't express their views. They don't like it or not like it. You'll have to take my word for it about the amount of dislikes I get because you don't see it and it's not published like it used to be in the olden days. But yeah, there's not many, right? The average percentage of likes in the history of the channel is 98%, right? But there's lots of people who do the things I do who will spout out all sorts of interesting information that isn't actually accurate or true. Everything I say is true and is accurate, and that's why sometimes when things like say like 98%, I don't like actually saying it because I can't actually. Well, I could probably give you a screenshot or something. I'm just not in that way inclined, right? So most people who have watched the channel long enough know that I'm fairly straightforward and fairly honest with what I'm saying. If a horse runs badly, it runs badly. If I don't think the jockey's tried, I don't think the jockey's tried. I'll tell you that. So yeah, that's me ramble on. All right. I'll get feedback in the comments about that, but you're welcome to put whatever you want in the comments. If it's disrespectful to me or to someone who follows the channel, then I'll remove that comment. But if you want to say your tips aren't very good, you can write that and it will just stay there, right? That's how it works. If you say your tips are going to stay there and you look like a dick, I'd probably delete that because it's just a bit unnecessary and a bit rude, right? So hopefully there's a bit of a fine line, right? There's a fine. If you give insults, that's fine. if you make fun of the tips, then you can fill your boots, right? Because I'm quite comfortable with what's going on and what I'm doing. What I don't like is obviously losing when I know other people are following my money. But it is a free country. You can choose to watch, you can choose to follow, you can choose to put money on what I'm doing. It's all free, right? It is all free. I have no interest in taking money from people who are trying to bet horses for a hobby, right? The whole point is I'm trying to help people, so it is a bit frustrating when I go on these losing runs, but that is part of it. Anyway, right, come on, shut up, let's get on with it. You want the bet, don't you? Because by the time I've got this bet out, all the prices have gone, won't they? Okay, here we go. It's busy. It's a busy page of paper on my scrawly chart here with my Sharpies. Right, so let's talk you through this. 1675. We are starting at Newbury, the 315 Newbury Geo. As you know, if you follow the channel, I don't tend to play very much in 3-year-old handicaps. This one caught my eye. It is a decent field size, so hopefully it holds to 16 runners, because then a lot of the bookies will be paying 5 places. There are some that are not on that race, so that's why I always put the bookie advice in the top corner. Why do I like the horse? William Buick is back on, which I think is a big positive tick in the box. He won on it last year when he rode it at Newbury over 7. I think it's get his head around 7 furlongs. Another thing, if you haven't watched the channel before, I don't write notes, right? It's just up here, and sometimes late at night it comes out wrong. Can't remember everything. If I told you everything about every single horse, would be all night. So I'll try and give you a few snippets. Anyway, Geo, William Buick, won it last year on Newbury on 7 furlongs. It's a mile today. He then rode it the next time, I think, at Newmarket. I think it was on the soft ground, which the horse didn't seem to like. I think back on decent ground with William Buick, that tells me that they're going to make an effort for it. William Buick doesn't tend to take just ad hoc rides for the crack, right? He's got previous on the horse. I do expect the price to get shorter, definitely, on that horse. I think night before there's a couple that are being backed in, which is pushing prices out elsewhere. So I think 20 is a really good price, because I do expect it to get shorter. So that's in. 5 o'clock Newbury, Under the Twilight. This one, again, I do think it will be shorter. It was much bigger than this, but I still think 18 is a good price. I think somewhere at some point it was about 40s, but David Probert riding. The key with this one is they put it back to 6 furlong. They've been trying it over longer distances. I say trying it, they've been running it over longer distances. Whether they've been trying it is an entirely different matter. Maybe the horse doesn't like 7 furlongs on a mile, it likes 6 furlongs more. So I think back to 6 furlongs on the decent ground, it looked overpriced to me and stuck out. So Under the Twilight's in, but then we're going into Ireland. So we've got 2 legs in Ireland. This is the lean horse of the day. Now, 750 Leopardstown. Can I pronounce this name? Something like Shmina Sela, something like that. I try not to butcher every single Gaelic name. Shmina Sela, something like that. We're saying 40 to 1. It's that I can't believe that price of that horse. It'll have to come in. It has to. I'm sure it will. Jamie Powell gets on well with the horse when he's ridden it. It's got some decent previous form over at Leopardstown. It absolutely is one that will want the better ground. So yeah, if the rain comes in and it really gets into the ground and we start getting soft, I'd be surprised if they run the horse. They shouldn't. They should take it out. But yes, the form at Leopardstown, decent ground, is good with the jockey. And I think you completely ignore last time out. I think they ran it over an inadequate trip at the Curragh, and I think that was just a bit of a blow the cobwebs out. So yeah, I think a much better performance is due. Whether it's good enough for frame, we'll see. That's 750 Leopardstown and 820 Leopardstown, split leg in it. Safer fad. We backed it a few runs back when it placed. Haven't touched it, I don't think, since then. Nathan Cross on it this time, not Colin Keeney was on it when we backed it last time. Nathan Cross did us a favour the other day when he managed to pull a place out for us at a nice price. I think back to optimum conditions. We'll see. I think there was juice in the price at 16, so I've put it in. But I also like Pagula, coming off a layoff, but last year came off a layoff and ran really, really well. It's also able to run off its true handicap mark rating of 41, which is absolute dirt basement. So yeah, if it doesn't perform well on this one, it might never perform well again. But I mean, it's a really good price for a horse. Whether or not that will come in, it should, but it might not. Whereas I would be fairly confident that leg 1 and leg 3 should definitely come in. I think that will come in too. I think that will come in. Safer Fad, probably, maybe not so much, but that's in. And then we're finishing off 9 o'clock Chelmsford, Thomas Aquinas, 8-1. Got a shorty in there by my ways. 8 runner handicap, and yeah, it's got lots of decent enough course and distance form. Doesn't run the most consistently, but on a going day, it was worth just having it in as the last leg. So the way I've done the bet: 2 times 10p each way Canadians. I've written their Super Yankees, so some bookmakers call them Super Yankees, some call them Canadians. So 1 Canadian is leg 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and the second Canadian 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So basically 2 Canadians with the 820 at Leopardstown with a different horse. So 520 for one, 520 for a second, so that's £10.40 in Canadians. 15p each way doubles, so 2 15p each way doubles. This is just for the Irish one, so I've got a little bit more on the lean one going on to these two. So a 15p each way double, 1 leg, 2 leg, and a 15p each way double, 1 leg, 2 leg. Hopefully that's clear enough. That adds up to, wait for my papers around, what am I talking about? 60 pence total. So that's £11 on multiples. Then we've got 50p each way singles on the first 5 and a 75p win single on the last leg. 16.75. Sky our best for 1 extra place in one of those races. Can't remember which one. They're paying 6 on one, I think. And then otherwise, to get 5 places on all 4 legs, you need 365, Unibet, Betfred, Paddy, Betway or Boyle Sports. If you can help it, you want to avoid Coral, Ladbrokes, Hills, 888, because there's at least 2 of those ones where they're only paying 4. That being said, if we've got some non-runners coming out of these Leopardstown ones, a lot of these might end up with 4 places, and it won't actually matter so much the bookie. All right, that's me offering to you on this fine Thursday, whatever time you're watching it, whether that is late in Wednesday night, early hours, or whether you're watching Thursday morning. All right. The plan is that I'll be back on for Friday and Saturday and possibly Sunday. I'll keep you posted. As well as being quiet on the race front, I've had a really hectic week this week as well, so it suited me to not be doing much on the video front and that kind of stuff. So I'll see how we get on. I would plan to do one Friday, but bit hectic. Saturday should be absolutely fine, and then Sunday, what are we on, like it's like the Sunday series at Hamilton or something like that, so not the most exciting. Couple of meets in Ireland, I think, Gorham Park and Downpatrick, so we'll have a little look about where we get to on the weekend. Alright, I hope your week has gone well so far, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.